With all the inks I've already purchased, as well as getting into blending inks for various colors and shades, what is your go-to pen for trying out inks? What do you use to test out new inks in small quantities before you decide to ink up something better? So, first off, I'll say you can really use whatever you want. There's no specific pen that you have to use for trying stuff out. I usually, well, it depends. It depends if I'm doing it purely for the intention of trying out the ink. If I'm excited, I have a new ink, and I really want to just get into it, I'll just put it in whatever pen that I like, that I kind of regularly use, that I have handy, that it's clean and empty. When I'm testing out several inks kind of back to back, my go-to is a Lamy, either an Al-Star or a Vista. And the reason that I like these ones specifically, it's kind of intentional. I'll use the Al-Star here because it's blue and I like blue. So the thing that I like about it, a couple different things. One is that it has this smoky kind of demonstrator grip section. The reason that I like that is because if I'm testing a small amount of ink, I like being able to use a converter, and I suck just a little bit of ink up into here, and I only suck up enough to fill the feed. I don't use it so that it fills the converter. And that's intentional because if I'm going to be cleaning it out and trying something else, I don't want to have to clean out the converter if I don't have to. And if I do it right, I can do it to where I never even get ink into the converter. It only gets in the grip section. So that's one less thing to clean out, which is kind of cool, right? And then the other thing that I like about it is it's really easy to clean out. So I just use a bulb syringe, which I meant to pull ahead of time, and now I've got to go searching for it. Here we go. Just the blue bulb syringe, one of the best tricks I've ever found in the fountain pen world. Stick it right on there, flush it out, and then that's it. If the converter, I don't even get the converter dirty, literally just take some water, flush it out, take a paper towel, take it to the nib, soak up the excess from the feed. I can put the converter back on and go to my next ink. It's better than just dip testing it because it's actually flowing the ink through the feed, and it's very easy to clean out, so I can quickly go on to the next one. Another thing I really like about Lamy's specifically is I have a slew of their nibs, and you can just slide them right off. Sometimes it takes a piece of Scotch tape or something to it to really get a grip on it. This one is, I've done it a bunch of times, so it comes off a little easier now. But I can swap in between nibs, so I can actually keep it inked up, swap the nibs out, go from say a fine to a 1.1 or something like that, and I don't have to change anything, and I get a different writing experience just from swapping that nib out. It's also very easy nibs to clean. So that's really pretty cool. I like doing that a lot as well. So you can do the same thing with the Vista if you don't have an Al-Star. The Vista, has a clear grip as well. That's why I specifically point out the Vista. Of course, you can do that with really any pen, but this one is one that I've honed over the years as to being a really good ink testing pen. Of course, you can always use a glass pen. It's a little bit different. They tend to write a little bit wetter and maybe don't have quite as consistent of an experience. The flow and all that won't be the same, but you'll get an idea of what it looks like on the paper. And they're super easy to clean, so that's really good. You can also use like regular calligraphy dip pens. Those are a little tougher. Sometimes you have to have an ink reservoir on those before it'll hang on, because those are meant for actual calligraphy ink, which is thicker than fountain pen ink. So you have to have some kind of ink reservoir or something on it so that the ink will actually stay on the nib and you can write with it. But I've been able to make those work too. I just don't like that quite as much as going with an actual pen. So that's what I tend to lean towards there. And I'm trying to think if I thought of anything last night as I was prepping this. I would say if you can test it in whatever pen you want. I would stay away from some of the more complex filling mechanisms like vacuum fillers and crescent fillers and stuff like that have bladders, and those are not as easy to clean out. And if you're testing ink after ink, you're going to get really sick of cleaning those things out. Piston you can do okay, especially if you're only sucking a little bit up in there, but still you got to flush and fill, and there's not a really great faster way to clean those things out. Cartridge converter pens tend to be the best for testing a lot of different inks because you can use that bulb syringe. So that's my big secret when testing out different inks. Cool.